We owe it all to Andy Warhol and to Anita Bryant.
Hello and welcome to the Tour Project. I'm Project Manager Eric Solomon. For this stop on the tour, navigate to 893 Peachtree Street Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. This is the site of Bulldogs. Bulldogs was opened in 1978 by Michael Clutter and Jerry Pitska. Pitska had managed Mrs. P's on Ponce de Leon. As Clutter recalls in a conversation with Project Q's Patrick Saunders in 2018, it was an empty building that used to be a strip bar. It had been empty for a couple of years, and I thought it would be a great spot for a gay bar. Towards the end of the 1980s, the clientele at Bulldogs evolved from a predominantly white crowd to a predominantly black one, Saunders writes, and Clutter recalls that Bulldogs had several black employees, and they started inviting their friends in, and it evolved into where it's maybe 80 or 90% black now. That wasn't a specific plan or anything, Clutter states. It just kind of happened that way. As Ryan Lee writes for Atlanta Magazine in 2020, just one story tall and tucked between 7th and 8th Streets on Peachtree, this tiny gay bar has built a reputation that towers over many of the skyscrapers that surround it. Lee continues, the regulars at Bulldogs provide a snapshot of why Atlanta is considered a black gay mecca. Here's Dave Hayward with more on his memories of Bulldogs in the era of Jerry Pitska and its importance to the community of Atlanta.
One of the things that remains in that area is the Bulldogs bar. Bulldogs is primarily for black gay men now, and a big mainstream of the African American gay men. And originally was founded by Jerry Pitska, who worked really closely with Ray Kluka, who we've mentioned. And one of the evolutions that happened through the 70s, whereas in the beginning of the 70s, referencing back to 1972 and the Atlanta Pride March, that the bars were not really supportive of the 1972 Pride March, for example, and gradually started coming around. And Jerry Pitska was one of the first people, the founder and the owner, the manager of Bulldogs, who worked closely with Ray Kluka and other people like Ray and John Howell, and was supportive of our efforts. And I do recall being at Bulldogs and doing voter registration there at the bar. And that was really important in terms of the evolution of our community and our owning of political power and getting our businesses and our business people to be supportive of our efforts. There was a real schism for a long time between groups like the Georgia Gay Liberation Front and the businesses. And there seemed to be a kind of fear that by being really open and visible and political and outspoken and demanding rights, that was going to be upsetting to some of the business interest. And a lot of that eventually sort of went away. So now a lot of the businesses are supportive of our causes.
Thank you for joining us on this stop of the Tour Project. For more information, visit tourqueeratlanta.org. That's TUOR queeratlanta.org.